Alright, well, let's wrap this thing up. Should be like 1 or 2 videos away. Let's see. Right where we left off, we completed the hostile intelligence. Um, and then now we need to go and confront and speak to Victus. Actually, it gives you a little description and find out what he might know. There we go. Come on, run, boy. Here we go. Sometimes I can't tell if you're running in first person. Subsection 7. Subsection. This game is so big. And it's like we're just getting started. So cool. Because that's not even like a loading screen or anything. Just
Well, what a pleasant surprise. When I heard you and Hadrian were headed for Londinian of all places, I presumed you must be onto something big. Did you find what you were looking for?
he's looking off to the side. I don't know.
I haven't been to Londinian in many years. Why? Is there some way I could be of assistance? Were you able to recover what you were looking for? Good news, then. So, what exactly are you doing here? Plenty still to be done in defeating the Terramorphs, no? Did you? Well, I don't know what you think you heard on this recording, but I sincerely hope you didn't come to the wrong conclusions. After all, given the Cabinet's current state of anxiety, they might misinterpret such a discovery to mean I could have been involved with the attacks. Perhaps I can convince you to keep this among us.
Hmm?
Of course. Do I look like I'm in any position to do what you're describing? So I'd very much appreciate your agreement to not share what you found. We wouldn't want anyone else jumping to conclusions now, would we?
He doesn't give me enough context to say that he's the villain, but yeah, I'm saying got no plans to tell anyone. I just want to know the truth. Yeah, exactly. Except, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be telling the cabinet.
You know, you're far more clever than I expected. You want to hear the words, then? I did it. The Terramorph attacks on Tau Ceti, New Atlantis, my doing. Years of coordination between my associate and I, figuring out how to deploy the Lazarus plant's pollen outside of Londinian, learning to synthesize it, use it as a weapon. Now, being as clever as you are, I'm sure you have thoughts on why I might do such a thing. All in due time. First, I want to see if you're truly as astute as you appear. So why would someone like me go through all this trouble? You can be more right. The attacks were a correction. When I discovered the plant, I did consider handing over what I'd found, but we were at war. And I couldn't risk information that dangerous falling into the wrong hands. So I ordered the bombing of the Londinian spaceport, fixing two problems at once. Halting the spread of the city's Terramorph outbreak, and sealing Captain. The Freestar Collective had spies everywhere. I was concerned that if word got out, the Collective could swoop down, start breeding Lazarus plants, and overrun our worlds with waves of terramorphs. Just like what was happening on Londinian at that very moment. Sealing off the city to prevent mass death, it was the only option that made sense at the time.
Still doesn't explain on the attacks to this day.
Simple to say now, but with the outbreak raging from a barely understood source, the moment demanded quick action. So I did what was required. I removed a dangerous variable from an already catastrophic war. But then, as the war ended, my trial, my execution, I made a decision. After all, I'd given everything for the colonies. My life as I knew it included. And what did I get in return? Was there any effort by the UC to protect my legacy? My daughter's legacy? No. We were sacrificed when all we did was serve. So I kept what I'd learned and arranged the attacks to set things right again. My daughter. She becomes a hero. I become a trusted advisor, having found Kaiser, the research team, and cement my new position of influence when I hand them the name of the person responsible for the attack on New Atlantis. The dear departed Dr. Reginald Orlays, the associate who aided me all these years, and whom I always slated to take the fall. What luck he was stopped dead before he could hurt anyone else. His decades on the run brought to an end by another unlikely hero. You. Why would I want to be in the good graces of the people who control my very life? I don't know, Captain. Maybe I still dream of a life outside these walls someday. A new face would be needed, of course, but it wasn't an impossibility. Though now, I'm not so sure. It wasn't easy. But the beauty of being loathed is that people will do whatever they can not to deal with you. They wanted to pretend I didn't exist. And so I used their blind eye to my advantage. Still, establishing a back channel to Orlays via the UC recovery teams was painstaking work. I've led campaigns less nerve-wracking. They believed they were luring in wanted criminals, but were in fact delivering precisely encoded slates, filled with instructions invisible to any but their recipient, dropped off at just the right moments to fall into the proper hands. All without the UC realizing whom they were actually dealing with. Slow work. But as you can see, ultimately effective. Can't remember the many lives you've taken. Orlays was the man whose death you brought about.
Yeah,
The man
we
I
already
had
knew
to
that.
eliminate. To hide my secret. There are no heroes without a villain. I simply arranged the opportunity for us to overcome one and become the other. And we all benefited. It's why I had Orlays reprogram Kaiser. Had that old machine guide you to where I found the plant all those years ago. I went to great lengths to ensure your and Hadrian's success. And look at the results. I know for a fact the Cabinet's planning to honor both you and Hadrian once this is all done. Isn't that preferable to languishing away in obscurity? Running jobs on the tail end of nowhere for the Vanguard? With only the vague hopes of perhaps earning the right to buy a home in the well someday. something befitting the dedication to the colonies you two have shown. While, of course, they can't give you a command, responsibility like that has to be earned. The cabinet does have access to considerable resources. I expect you'll be quite pleased with the result, and none of it would have happened without my intervention. I'm simply looking for you to acknowledge the truth. And let's not forget the importance of our actual endgame. Eliminating the terramorphs. Securing knowledge of the Lazarus plant. What we've set in motion is going to protect thousands, maybe millions of lives. I'm simply requesting one more life be protected. Mine. I've already sent along the evidence of Orleza's role in the attacks to the cabinet, leaving out my own involvement. All I ask is that you confirm as much to the cabinet. Tell them that it was Orlez and Orlez alone. After all, I do still have a long list of threats to the UC. This needn't be the end of our good works together. Hunting down criminals and other threats to the United Colonies. I expect they'll give me a bit more free range once this is all over. You would help me, like you did with Orlez. Track them down, and keep them from doing harm to the United Colonies. Impossible, though, if the cabinet learns I'm the one responsible for the attacks. And how many have you killed to get where you are now? There are no great works that don't cost lives, Captain. Whether it's winning a war, or digging a tram tunnel. So we sacrificed a few dozen in the attacks to possibly protect millions. That seems like a fair exchange to me. I only hope you'll see the same, and leave my name out of the discussions to come.
Okay, so basically, I do understand where he's coming from with keeping the secret during the war, but he didn't have to do that by killing, or you basically destroying all of the Londonian. Um, and you know, he did everything for all the wrong reasons, basically. Like he had an alternative motive. Yeah, because once I tell the captain.
That is a pity, Captain. But I'm in no position to negotiate. Though we needn't be enemies, you and I. Just think about the opportunity I've provided here. There are more on the horizon. If you do the right thing.
I'm not doing the right thing, buddy. Oh dang. Yeah, if I was to let him free, I would not be doing the right thing. This place is kind of tricky sometimes. That's. I can't believe he tried to like sway me into his own. What the hell? Like his own way of evil.
Perfect timing. We just got in. So on our end, good news. The microbe and the Asylees are both as effective against heat leeches as they are against terramorphs.
Means either plan should work for clearing those critters off our worlds.
Considering what the Lazarus plant is capable of, I don't think we can deal with those things fast enough. I already sent along info to the cabinet to get them up to speed. So what about your end? Did you find anything? Did my father tell you what he knew about the Lazarus plant?
Yep, he set it all up. The man, I'm still getting it. Someone telling me to go back to the village.
I knew it. The second I heard that recording, I knew. Why? Did he say why he did it?
He was trying to fix the damage. Don't sin on name. Make you and him and heroes.
It takes some deeply twisted logic to think anything did more harm to the Sanan name than him. Well, once we inform the cabinet, they can ensure he won't be able to do anything like this ever again.
Sir's prostrate, he asked we leave his involvement in sex. Zero last self-saved.
My hope would be that whatever connections he's got to the outside world disappear. Make sure his future schemes and machinations stay in his cell with him. But honestly, I'm not sure. He's in a unique position, and has done a special kind of harm to the colonies. I'm sure he did. But he killed dozens of people, and I'm not about to let him get away with something like that. So I guess that gives us our final answer. Nothing left to do but head in and see what the cabinet thinks of it all. Unless there was more to discuss. This might be our last opportunity to talk things through before the cabinet weighs in on a decision regarding the Terramorphs.
What do you think the cabinet will do once what kinds of risk?
Asili's aren't hostile to humans, but they are megafauna. If someone decides to pick a fight with one, it could get ugly.
Okay.
But they've already been spread far and wide once before when the UC was raising them as livestock, so the risk of introducing them to new worlds is minimal. Using them to clean up the Terramorphs and leeches, though, it's not going to be nearly as expedient as the microbe would be. Given what we know now about the Lazarus plant, the speed of the job does matter. But going with the Asilis, we're at least dealing with known risks.
Yeah, I think which method of the
Microbe is going to make the cleanup a whole lot quicker. If we're concerned about this Lazarus plant getting deployed again, that's the way to go.
The cabinet can secure the Lazarus plant, and then we're not risking any surprises when it comes to dealing with a microbe.
You're being paranoid. You know the science. You know we can make this safe.
I do know the science. I also know math. And a 1 in a million chance of a mutation isn't 0. So I guess we're still in discussion. Probably best at this point to let the cabinet weigh in, see if they have a preference. And here we go.
Welcome back, all of you. I wish we were meeting under better circumstances. But according to Hadrian's report, and the second one I just received, it seems the Terramorph attack on New Atlantis was no random occurrence, but a planned strike. Is what I'm reading here true? This report comes from a particularly confidential source both you and I are familiar with, yes. Among the reasons its findings are so alarming. Now, is it true? Was the attack on New Atlantis planned? The second report claims to know the perpetrator as well. Did Reginald Orlays actually commit these attacks, Captain?
Orlays? It's true, ma'am. I heard the recording myself. My father figured out how to use Terramorphs as weapons.
He did what?
That's impossible. He doesn't have the kind of access to...
Clearly, he made his own access, Chief Sarkin. Madam President, I have been saying for years that not dealing with that man was gonna end in tragedy.
Enough! I hope everyone here understands that what has just been shared is a state secret of the highest order. This information does not leave this room. Now, that's quite the accusation you're leveling, considering Francois Sanon has not left containment for the better part of 2 decades. You have evidence to back this up?
It just transformed. A terramorph out of thin air. An invisible weapon. No planet would be safe.
Heavens help us. Is that actually him?
I'd know that voice anywhere. That's Francois.
He knew they could do this, and said nothing.
He's a sociopath. Plain and simple, ma'am.
Officer, please collect that recording.
Yes, ma'am. Begging your pardon, Captain.
We'll, of course, be launching a full investigation into how this could have happened. Though I have little doubt the Admiral will be quick to share all he knows on the subject once confronted with that recording. Chief Yassine, can you send one of your interrogators to have a little chat with the Admiral?
I'll issue the order immediately.
Good. Combined with everything else you all have uncovered. Well, I don't think the United Colonies can thank you enough. We failed the people of the colonies by not dealing with Victus sooner. I intend to rectify that mistake immediately. That's truly disconcerting to hear. But cutting off Victus's contact with the outside world is likely to be just the beginning of his punishment. That will be up to the cabinet to decide. But I don't appreciate our mercy being taken advantage of. I'm inclined to agree, Captain. Now, with our villain unmasked, we can attend to the other matters at hand. With the threads you've brought together here, the Lazarus plant, the attacks, the heat leeches. The 3 of you have likely spared thousands of lives. But it now falls to the cabinet to ensure this can never happen again. As such, the cabinet will be securing the Lazarus plant on Londinian. All materials related to the plant will be classified to ensure no one else learns its true nature.
A sound decision, Madam President.
Well, luckily the natural hostility of Londinian makes keeping out trespassers relatively easy. But we'll ensure its growth is contained, that access to the plant is only permitted via highly regulated clearances, and that our troop presence on Londinian is increased. We're already discussing the elimination of one species, Captain. Explain to me why you wish to eliminate another.
And once Victus has been dealt with, this problem can end here.
And allow us to focus on the grander task to come. Very well. We'll clean up the plant. Thank you for the suggestion, Captain. So then, to our final topic. The cabinet has agreed to implement a plan that will deal with the Terramorph, and now also Heat Leech presence on human worlds. In fact, we've already begun enacting measures to check all UC ports and settlements for undiscovered nests. But we all understand this is only a partial solution. The project we're embarking on will be a long and difficult one. So our first step must be deciding how exactly this all will be handled.
Madam President, this microbe is clearly too much of a risk. The Aseles are the safer approach.
To someone with limited knowledge of biology, perhaps. The technology behind the microbe is solved science, Madam President. It isn't dangerous. Using it to wipe out the Terramorphs would be the quickest path to protecting humanity.
And fast results always lead to the best outcomes, don't they?
As you can see, there remains debate among the cabinet. We were hoping your group might issue a recommendation. Major?
We've been having similar debates ourselves, but the captain has yet to weigh in.
I see. Captain, I know this may not be your area of expertise, but we'd like to know your take on the matter. I believe we have a responsibility to do something, yes. Heavens forbid, years from now, someone reopens the Pandora's box that Victis discovered. It falls to us to enact every measure required to ensure that day never comes.
I'm in full agreement. No need be delving into unpredictable sciences.
And Major Sinan? Dr. Walker, you'd find this acceptable?
We trust the captain's judgment.
Then the matter is settled. We'll begin the process immediately. Today marks day one for the United Colonies Terramorph Management Division, making you three the founding members of the TMD. As befits such a group, the Cabinet wanted to display its gratitude. Today, we will be adding 3 new Class 1 citizens to our ranks.
Class 1? For the 3 of us? Are you joking?
What he means to say is, thank you, ma'am.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
It's a status reserved only for those who've dedicated their lives to the United Colonies, or done great things for its cause. Class 1s enjoy an ample credit disbursement, an additional reduction on the cost of colonial goods. And I'm told the penthouse is rather impressive. You all have earned it. Now, there's much to be done. Major Sinan, Dr. Walker, I hope you two are willing to continue your efforts, spearheading the TMD's research on Mars.
We'd be honored, ma'am.
As for you, Captain, the Vanguard will be providing much of the on-the-ground support for the TMD. As a member of both the Vanguard and the TMD, I believe you'll have your pick of duties. Speak to your commander, Tuala, if I recall correctly. He should be able to provide you with assignments going forward, plus help you collect the benefits that come with being named Class 1. On behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our sincerest gratitude. This meeting is adjourned.
Wow. A legacy forged. There it is. Achievement. But is this the end? We shall see. Not where I want to go. Man, this basic pushback. So terrible. Alright, okay. So that one's gonna take not where I want to go. So that completes the faction, huh?
Well, I've got to say, this is a first. I've never had a Class 1 citizen in my ranks before. Congratulations, Captain. No need to thank me. You brought this on yourself. I've already gone ahead and processed your Class 1 benefits. All UC goods and services should now have a thanks for protecting the colonies discount. And the credits should be in your account now. But to get into your penthouse, you'll have to pay a visit to the Aphelion Realty office. They should be able to grant you access. Higher-ups wanted to make sure you know how much they appreciate what you've done. But with all that squared, it's time to get you a new assignment. There are your standard Vanguard missions, putting those pilot skills to use defending UC space. Or you could help the TMD in cleaning up terramorphs. Oh, and I got a request from Dr. Walker. Wanted your help collecting biological samples to keep an eye out for any, new alien threats on the horizon. Any of those missions call to you?
This is interesting, but I'm gonna go with terramorphs.
Any chance to bag some bugs, right? Well, I can provide. Let me just check my logs. Okay, these coordinates should get you to your first target. There. These missions are straightforward. Proceed to the location, kill the critter before it can do any more harm. Just be smart out there. Don't want you getting banged up too bad on your first hunt. Super et ultra, Captain.
So we've completed the faction mission, but there's still like they branch out to the different like side missions within the faction as well. So it's pretty cool. Vanguard bug hunt. Eliminate the terramorphs. Well, let's at least activate that. And then let's go talk to, actually, what would make it quicker is, let's go ahead and reap the rewards of completing all this, right?
By the way, Captain, Sergeant Yumi was looking for you.
Yeah.
Sounds like he's got one.
So Sergeant Yumi, he's part of like, basically, if you want to be part of like the UC security, I thought that's how you joined up in, the UC, like I didn't realize UC and Vanguard are the same thing, but yeah.
Never a better time than right now to settle down and make New Atlantis home. If you're a citizen, of course. Well, well, if it isn't the United Colony's newest Class 1 citizen, you've made quite a name for yourself in New Atlantis. In fact, the higher-ups want to thank you for your dedicated service by giving you one of the nicest pieces of real estate in the city. It's a premium penthouse at the top of Mercury Tower. Best location in New Atlantis, in my professional opinion. What do you say? It'll just take a second to get you registered as the owner.
Yep.
Great! You're in for a real treat. It's one of my favorite apartments in the city. Okay, you're all set. Your new home's located in Mercury Tower in the residential district. You'll love the place. It has a gorgeous floor plan and an unbeatable view of the city. Now that you're an owner, I'm sure I'll be seeing you around town.
Sweet. I am kind of curious what the price differences are, because I'm already at rank commerce. Now having the class 1 discount is kind of crazy. I feel like in my last playthrough, I'll definitely replay through all this. Oh yeah. Look at this. kitchen. You can, you should be able to cook, no? No? You can't cook? Okay. Well, that's where you can make food stuff. Literally nothing in here. I guess this is where the pantry would be. Nice little shower. Can't even open it though, you know. Nah. See what this is. Ooh. It is dark out. So this is where the balcony would be at. Where you would be able to see off. Okay. Yeah, that's nice. See a ship down there. Look off into the horizon. Got the UC. Huge lake over there. Pond or whatever. You know, that's the United Colonies. Yeah, got bank there. Anyway, yeah, this is a cool little site. Definitely. Definitely cool. Another little bathroom. You can't use. Nice. Laundry. Another bedroom? Or I guess just room in general. It's another side view. Oh yeah. That's cool too. What is that? Huh. Okay, moon over there. Imagine doing all of the storyline just to get this apartment. Crazy. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Do say so myself. Is there a way to like see, like build stuff in here, but I have no idea how you do any of that. I like this room. I don't know why. Oh yeah. Yeah. Like the angles anyway. Let's go to first place I would go. That was me.
Ever wonder how the Crimson Fleet seems to be everywhere?
This arsenal.
Because they have little outposts.
I have mixed feelings about it. But sales are up significantly since what happened at the spaceport. People want to feel safe. You're here because you need something you can connect. Please, take a look.
Got a lot of credits. Okay. Dang. Kinda expensive. You know, I can't really tell. Especially with these weapons. Weapons are, well, axe being 468. Definitely, it's not a significant value difference, that's for sure. Mag Storm. I have not seen this before. I can't wait to like pick this thing up. Oh yeah, I mean that's a regular mag storm. 13,000. modified. Pretty cool. This thing has been doing the damage. Anyway. Next one we can a little pissed off too. Let's go to just say New Atlantis. Wonder are parts
We're asking everyone to need some work done.
any cheaper?
I'm sure you can find something you like.
74, 94. 12. Yeah, I do think that these were a little bit more. So it's like it might have spared me like a couple thousand, at least based off the parts, or the ships. But if that's a percentage,
You will be scanned as you
I'll
enter
never
the city.
figure it out with
Please
this. Ooh. I'm in third person and my god's not looking hard left. I wonder if they actually fixed that.
Oh, please, take a look.
Okay. Looks like she has more credits. 342. Well, that's already a big difference. 342. Because they're around 500. I mean 400. I guess the direct comparison was going to another place outside of New Atlantis. Yeah. These are probably. These are probably 1,000. These are probably like 4,000. Yeah, so. I mean, it definitely helps some. I have no idea. I'd have to go back and look. Actually, I think these adaptive frames were like 24. I have no idea. I have to go back and look. But anyway.
Thanks for coming in.
Or maybe they were 18. I don't know. It's been nice. We're a UC citizen now, and over there's is where you. I thought this is where you join, like the UC faction. This is just an officer. So just where they run you on like. Anyway, I don't want to spoil it, but it's just it's like little side missions
So,
though.
how are you? Everything good?
Anyway,
Just got a new job.
it's been fun. If I keep going through this Vanguard storyline, if I do, I'm gonna be doing these missions, the Terramore. So that's the only reason why I selected it. And yeah. Anyway, if you do continue to watch after the, I assume the main storyline's done. I don't know. Anyway, adios. Have a good one. Thank you for watching.